act in a responsible way, make a responsible choice, ultimately understand the bigger picture and become a champion towards sustainable seafood businesses. So that's what SASSI is. We've got these pocket guides at the back. We've taken this is one of the products of our program. We've taken all this complicated information. We've taken different regions that have different management measures in place. We've taken different fishing methods that have different repercussions. We've taken this and we've put it into a list. And we've put it into a traffic light system, so green, orange, red. Green is good, orange, think twice, and red is don't buy. And within the red zone, we've got, you'll see a lot of them have a black background. And that means in South Africa, these fish are illegal to sell or buy. And it's quite funny because you'll go to a restaurant and often they'll have something like white mussel cracker on the menu. And a lot of consumers don't know that this is an illegal species to buy or sell in South Africa. So those restaurants are actually doing something illegal. And the orange list is the one that consumers have the most problem with. They never quite know what to do with it. Can you eat orange listed species? Can't you eat orange listed species? It's not our duty to tell you what you can or can't eat. What we do tell you is that these species have associated reasons for concern, either because of stock status or because the fishery that it's caught in has environmental damage associated with it. But green is ultimately the best list to choose from. And so that's how you use this little pocket guard. We also have the FishMS. So basically, if you're in a restaurant, you don't have your pocket card with you, you order angelfish, or you'd like to order angelfish, and you don't know what the environmental consequences are, you can SMS angelfish to this number, and within, depending on how the network's working, within a couple of minutes you should get an answer saying good to go, not good to go, these are the reasons for concern, and you can make a decision based on that. And so we're not discouraging. A lot of fishermen come to us and say, you're taking away from our livelihoods, how can you do this? We're just putting the information out there, and it's up to the consumer. If they want to eat a red listed species, there's nothing we can do about it. But we're giving the information to people and saying, make your own choice. Just to give you a little bit of background about the SASSI list, green is best choice, orange caution, red is never buy, and the red list includes species that are either illegal to sell in South Africa, as I mentioned, or unsustainable. And about 2 weeks ago, we launched our new list, which was about 7 months of incredibly rigorous assessments, and we went through a lot of scientific consultation. We followed an internationally accepted best practice methodology, and we used what information we could find was as the best available and the most current information. And the cool thing about the list is that if someone comes to us, it makes it completely transparent. So if a consumer comes to us, if a restaurant comes to us and says, you haven't included the most up-to-date information, we're like, cool, okay, give it to us and we'll include it immediately. And we're printing these at maybe about 10,000 at a time, so we're not printing too many. And so that means the information can be incorporated immediately. It'll reflect on all our consumer tools, such as the FishMS or the website or the WAP site. And this information can then go through into the updated list. So after all of that, is it possible for anyone to make a difference? Is it possible that one person's choice will actually drive change, positive change? And so to end on a positive note, I wanted to give you some examples of where this consumer pressure has resulted in positive change. For example, in the South African hake trawl fishery, as a direct result of consumer pressure, the numbers of seabirds that are killed every year has decreased from 18,000 to 8,000, and this is because of effective management plans that have been put in place. Furthermore, the South African hake trawl fishery has made a public commitment to freeze their trawl footprint. And what this means is, for the past 100-odd years, they have trawled in exactly the same place because they know where the fish are. And obviously, the benthic environment in these areas is completely destroyed anyway. So what they've said is, okay, we've now messed this area up, but we'll stick to these areas. We won't break any new ground. And if we do break new ground, we will do an environmental impact assessment, make it publicly available. People can comment and say and put their input in. This is quite a cool example, I think. As I mentioned, we do responsible fisheries training, which really just involves sitting down with the skippers and talking about all these issues and these challenges. And one of the components of our training is talking about marine pollution. And these two skippers were quite amazed at the fact that cigarette butts never biodegrade, they never break down, they're always in the environment, they collect little bacteria and stuff, and when fish eat it, it obviously manifests and exacerbates through the food chain. And so what they did, a very simple solution, they cut a Coke bottle in half, a liter Coke bottle, they attached it with a cable tie to the workstation of each of their crew, and they told the crew they have to put their cigarette butts in there, and they brought from then on, they've been bringing back their cigarette butts every trip. Huge difference. Small things. And king clip, which a lot of you probably know and love, it's a very, very high value bycatch in the hake trawl fishery. There was a longline fishery, an experimental longline fishery in the early 1990s that completely decimated the population of king clip. Oh no. Oh, thank you. Did I plug in the wrong one? That one doesn't fit though. This is mine though. Is it not? Oh, is it not? It's not turned on. It's that red. Okay, back. Alright, so there was an experimental longlining fishery that completely decimated the king clip population in the early 90s. And so since then, you aren't allowed to target it. It's allowed to be caught as bycatch. They've got a 20% bycatch limit in the hake trawl fishery, but that's all you're allowed to do. But because of the good management measures that have been put in place for the hake fishery, there have been positive repercussions on the king clip stock. So, as a direct result of the consumer pressure on the hake fishery management, king clip is now back from the brink of collapse, which is quite cool, I think. And so to bring it back to the question right at the beginning of the presentation, is seafood sustainability everybody's business? Of course it is. Everyone in the seafood supply chain can and should do something to work towards a sustainable seafood future. So as a consumer, you should always ask questions about your seafood. As I said, it is your right to know as a consumer what is on your plate, what is being served to you, and what your options are. So we can make a difference. And now, more than ever before, is the time that we should make a difference. Thank you very much. Good.